The use of mobile phones in schools has become a controversial topic debated by students, parents, teachers, and authorities. People who support the use of mobile phones believe that these phones are useful for safety, allowing children to communicate with their parents and guardians, and teaching children how to deal with new media properly as early as possible. In addition, people suggest that schools should adapt to the current technological landscape where mobile phones allow access to vast amounts of information, rendering the need to memorize facts obsolete, allowing schools to shift their focus from imparting knowledge to emphasizing critical thinking skills and fostering the development of essential personal qualities. Opponents of students using mobile phones during school believe that mobile phones are the main source of declining mental health among adolescents, hampering social development and enabling cyberbullies. Different countries across the world have had to respond to the increasing presence of mobile devices in schools and weigh the potential harms and benefits, all while maintaining their privacy laws. To prevent distractions caused by mobile phones, many schools have really high policies that restrict students from using their phones during school hours. Some administrators have attempted cell phone jamming to monitor and restrict phone usage, with the goal of reducing distractions and preventing unproductive use. However, these methods of regulation raise concerns about privacy violation and abuse of power, as well as being illegal in certain jurisdictions. Cell phone use in schools in the media. The issue of cell phone use in classrooms has garnered significant attention in the media, especially as debates around technology in education intensify. Media outlets often highlight how schools and educators are grappling with this challenge, particularly as smartphones become very common among students. Various methods to tackle cell phone use in classrooms have been featured, ranging from strict bans to more flexible approaches aimed at reducing distractions while maintaining students' access to technology. Some reports focus on how teachers implement phone-free policies, requiring students to place their phones in designated areas during lessons. Other educators highlight the use of phone jails or phone holders at the front of classrooms, where students deposit their devices upon entering. Meanwhile, some teachers have adopted a middle ground approach, offering cell phone breaks midway through class to allow students brief moments to check their devices, while still maintaining focus during instructional time. These solutions are often discussed in online forums and social media platforms like TikTok and Instagram, where teachers share their experiences and strategies for balancing technology use with classroom engagement. In various TV shows and films, the theme of teachers managing cell phone distractions is explored either as a subplot or comedic element. For example, in Community, Season 1, Episode 8, the group at Greendale Community College faces a new, strict rule about using cell phones in class, humorously highlighting the tension between technology and learning. Similarly, the Angry Birds movie 2, 2019, features characters struggling with tech distractions, mirroring real-world issues teachers face with student devices. Other notable portrayals include The Fosters, Season 3, Episode 13, where teachers navigate the impact of social media and cell phones on students' attention, and Boy Meets World, which touches on the broader theme of school-related distractions, with more recent spin-offs like Girl Meets World directly addressing the challenges of cell phone use in modern classrooms. British Drama Class, 2016, also explores technology's disruptive effect in the classroom, though with a more fantastical twist, while Glee, Season 2, Episode 3, touches on the distractions caused by personal lives and cell phones in a school setting. Films like Freedom Writers, 2007, and Bad Teacher, 2011, also show technology, including cell phones, as one of the many distractions that complicate the teaching environment, even if it isn't the main focus of the storyline. General consensus on cell phone use among educators. The general consensus among educators, particularly high school teachers, reflects growing concerns about the negative impact of cell phone use on students' focus, academic performance, and mental health. On platforms like TikTok and Instagram, educators frequently share their classroom policies on managing phones, offering insights into various strategies that aim to minimize disruptions. Many teachers express frustration over having to police phone use in addition to their regular duties, and a growing number advocate for uniform district-wide policies to address the issue more effectively. For instance, the Santa Barbara Unified School District, SBST, implemented a district-wide policy in the 2024-25 school year that requires high school students to place their phones in designated cell phone hotels before class begins. This policy ensures that devices are out of reach and out of sight during instructional time. Educators' concerns are supported by data showing the negative impact of constant notifications and the addictive nature of smartphones. A 2023 survey by Common Sense Media found that the average student receives hundreds of notifications daily, with many occurring during school hours. A 2024 National Education Association, NEA, poll revealed that 90% of teachers support banning phones during instructional time, with 75% favoring restrictions for the entire school day. Teachers highlight how social media and entertainment apps like Netflix and FaceTime are major distractions, with students often checking their phones for updates, leading to a lack of engagement in lessons. The cell phone hotel strategy, increasingly adopted across the country, reflects an effort to create a more focused learning environment. In places like Red Bank, New Jersey, and Santa Barbara, California, this approach has expanded into district-wide policies, with positive feedback from educators about improved engagement and reduced stress. However, while the policies have been successful in some cases, challenges remain. Some teachers report a decline in adherence over time, with students finding ways to bypass the rules. Despite this, educators generally agree that stricter, more consistent policies are necessary to address the ongoing challenges of cell phone use in the classroom, particularly as the presence of smartphones continues to grow among younger generations. Pros: an increase in access to technological devices could develop workplace skills such as rapid searching, browsing, assessing quality, and synthesizing large quantities of information. In addition to helping develop 21st-century skills, mobile phones may provide access to a wide variety of mobile apps useful to both teachers and students in the classroom. Surveys from leading tech experts suggest that there will be both positives and negatives associated with allowing mobile phones in the classroom. Specifically, 55% of those surveyed agree that there will be learning behavior changes that generally produce positive outcomes such as improved problem-solving abilities. While potential issues such as the need for instant gratification were acknowledged, many were optimistic that the negatives could be overcome. Classrooms adapting to the changes in technology was identified as one of the key steps in avoiding negative consequences in the classroom. One researcher at Fast Future, David Sayre, stated that the desire for instantaneous content can be seen as a new perspective on timetables rather than a lack of patience. In 2017, Dr. James Durranian conducted a study involving 100 participants at the University of Gloucestershire. His study revealed that 45% of students believe that the use of phones in classrooms supports their education. One of the most commonly mentioned ways that phones provided such academic support was digital access to textbooks. The ability to access scholarly material on mobile devices allowed students to engage more deeply with the information presented. Still, Durranian mentioned that there could be an element of social desirability conveyed in the student views given. Cons: a 2015 study published in the journal Computers in Human Behavior demonstrated that among undergraduate students total usage of mobile phones, measured in number of minutes per day and not limited to school time, was a significant and negative predictor of college students' academic performance, objectively measured as cumulative GPA. Moreover, the abundant use of mobile technology among young people largely explains the inadequate use of information and communication technologies, ICT, in both personal and school environments. Consequently, actions have been taken that contribute to more responsible use of this type of technology in students' personal, school, and social lives. In 2015, Dakota Lawson and Bruce B. Henderson performed a study to examine the relationship between mobile phone use in class and information comprehension. The study involved 120 students from an introductory psychology course, mostly first-year students. The result showed that students who were texting in the class had significantly lower test scores even when the material that was presented was simple. Mobile phone use in class impairs students' comprehension and performance. This study was performed after several similar studies in the past and corroborated their results. Furthermore, researchers Julia Irwin and Natasha Gupta of Macquarie University performed an experiment in 2016 testing the effect of Facebook-related distractions in the classroom. The researchers found that students who were interested in the subject material and the way it was presented were less likely to be distracted by Facebook. However, the students with access to phones still performed poorer than students that were not allowed access to cell phones during the lecture. A 2017 collective study, published by Applied Cognitive Psychology, indicated that college students retained less knowledge when allowed to use or possess a cell phone during lectures. During the experiment, students who were not allowed access to a cell phone tested better than those who had access to cell phones. It is argued that, in the classroom, phones can be a constant disruption and may be used inappropriately, such as by cheating on tests, taking inappropriate photographs and playing mobile games. Phones would also be a distraction, taking away attention that should be going to the teacher. In 2023, the United States Surgeon General issued an advisory warning that social media can carry a profound risk of harm to the mental health and well-being of children and adolescents. Research taken from the National College Health Assessment shows that almost twice as many undergraduate students were diagnosed with anxiety and depression between 2008 and 2018. In his book, The Anxious Generation, social psychologist Dr. Jonathan Haidt proposes that a combination of overprotective parents and increased cell phone use are both causes for the increase in mental illness, especially amongst younger generations. His work details how young students are not being properly prepared for the social and emotional dangers of social media and how these relationships are not as fulfilling as real-world encounters. The popularity of this book has inspired school board leader and educational administrators across the country. An article by Emma Henderson, a journalist for the United Kingdom, UK, publication The Independent, describes phantom vibrations caused by learned bodily behavior, where the part of the body to which the phone is closest becomes very sensitive. As a result, even the slightest vibrations can cause a person to believe that the phone has vibrated when, in reality, it has not. These are known as phantom vibrations. 9 out of 10 people claim to have felt these phantom vibrations in their pockets, raising serious concerns about the overuse of cell phones and the resulting dependency that people develop. Therefore, breaking the habit of frequently checking one's phone can not only be beneficial for students but also convey more respect towards the professors and teachers whose lectures are constantly interrupted by cellular distractions. Mobile phone applications for the classroom. Cell phone applications have been created to support the use of phones in school environments. As of February 2018, about 80,000 applications are available for teacher use. A variety of messaging apps provide communication for student-to-student relationships as well as teacher-to-student communication. Some popular apps for both students, teachers, and parents are Remind and ClassDojo. About 72% of top-selling education apps on iOS are for preschoolers and elementary school students. Additionally, there are a wide variety of ways middle and high school students can use mobile phones, such as sharing documents, taking pictures, and having easier access to information. A specific app that teachers can use is called Moodle, which is an online course management system that can make content more accessible to students. These apps offer many different services such as language translation, scheduled reminders, and messages to parents. The app Remind is another way for teachers to communicate with parents and school administration. This app not only allows teachers to send out scheduled text messages to parents but also provides a class blog for teachers to share upcoming due dates, tests, and quizzes, and other class information. Another app that allows students to communicate with one another is GroupMe. GroupMe allows students to communicate in a group chat format through Wi-Fi instead of using cellular data. Even some college-aged students use this app for sharing course information. Mentimeter is a tool that allows teachers to develop interactive slides which promote engagement from students. While it is not the only tool that performs this function, a study conducted in 2022 showed that it is more digitally accessible than several of its counterparts. The blind participants of this study used several digital tools such as Kahoot in conjunction with various screen readers to identify any issues the tools had. Issues were then categorized from minor to severe in terms of usability. In addition to Mentimeter being identified as one of the most digitally accessible, Kahoot and Poll Everywhere were labeled as mostly accessible with some exceptions for specific features. Thank you for watching this video.